Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the Baker Act. And I have done a number of videos on the fact that you cannot sue if you've been wrongfully Baker Acted, right? If you've been held past the 72-hour period, if they somehow coerced you into signing an informed consent for a voluntary admission agreement. Even if you didn't meet criteria, you can't sue. And I get a lot of calls for those. I get 3 or 4 a day. And I totally get it. I wish I could take those cases and tell you I can get you a boatload of money. If I could, I would. I'd be retired years ago. But the fact of the matter is that the statute, the Baker Act statute says these facilities are immune. And the reason they're immune is because they are agents of the state. And as a general rule, the state has what's known as sovereign immunity. It's like you can't sue the cops. You can, but even then it's capped. I think it's at $200,000. So you're not getting millions of dollars even if you sue the police. Now, there are times when you can go above the $200,000 threshold. But for most lawyers, quite frankly, that take these cases, they're years and years and years of litigation, and they're just, there's just sort of I hate to say it, but there's no financial reason to do it, or very rare instances to do it. But is there a time when you can sue for any of this stuff? And the simple answer is there is, because the statute also says that if there is negligence, if the facility is negligent and somehow you get injured, then yeah, you can sue them for that. And I mean, think about this logically, right? When you get in a car accident, God forbid you get rear-ended, and I've had like 3 of those already, and I have the neck to prove it. When you're on the road, other drivers have a duty to drive carefully. You have a duty to drive carefully. If you drive recklessly and injured someone, you've potentially breached your duty, right? So, and the facility has the same type of duty. They have a duty to protect you. And as an example, we had a young lady that was raped in a facility. Okay, they should have kept her safe. We had another gentleman who was held by a facility. He'd been previously been there twice before, and on the 3rd occasion, they even filed to keep him. And on the morning of the hearing, they let him go, and he unfortunately took his life. So they had a duty, and they breached it. It's a negligence claim. Okay, that's different from the fact that, they kept you beyond 72 hours. They coerced you to sign a voluntary admission agreement. That is the one instance where you can potentially not just sue them, but get compensated for the injury, the damage. And I don't mean you suffered trauma, although I get it, you almost certainly did. I don't mean that you lost your job, and I'm sorry that happened to you too. I don't mean because it's affected your future. I mean that you have a physical injury, like when I got rear-ended and I herniated a disc in my neck, and then I got rear-ended again and herniated another disc. That's a physical injury, okay? And the reason that works is because the law allows for some type of monetary compensation that hopefully sort of equals the damage, the physical damage. And look, I know some of you are going to be frustrated to hear this. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you the way the law works, okay? That's the way the law works when it comes to getting compensated for injuries, when it comes to suing these facilities and the police and all of that stuff, okay? You can sue the facility potentially if you have a physical injury that was caused by their negligence. In other words, their breach of the duty to take care of you. So I wanted to share that with you because I get lots of calls, and sometimes I get people yelling at me and screaming at me and hanging up on me and telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. And I feel terrible, but that's the law. And if you don't like it, then call your legislators, the members of the state house, the members of the state senate. Call the governor's office and say, listen, these guys are violating my rights. I want to be able to sue them if and when they do it again. And I'll be standing there shoulder to shoulder with you, and I'll tell the governor myself what's going on here. But until that happens, this is the state of affairs, and this is what you can and what you cannot get compensated for if you've been wrongfully Baker Acted. Anyway, I want to share that with you. Have a good rest of the day. Take care. Bye-bye.